The St. Louis Blues just made a major statement, winning their 12th consecutive game, showing the NHL that they're the hottest team going into the playoffs. And we get a major update on the St. Louis Blues, including their top prospect, that will have fans fired up. Darius, we're going to break down the hottest team in the NHL in this episode. Before we get into that, if you're part of the 91% watching this and you're not subscribed yet, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. We'll be here all season long giving you updates on not only the NHL, but your St. Louis Blues, and you're not going to want to miss it. It's completely free, so go down and hit that. But Darius, we got to hop straight into this, to the hottest team in the entire National Hockey League, the St. Louis Blues. We know last night, 12th straight win, setting a franchise record. We know there's multiple records that were being set last night. We see that Jordan Binnington's 10th straight home win matches the franchise record, 100th home win as a Blue, most among Blues goalies, and Booch scores his 100th goal as a Blue. Listen, I'm just going to throw it to you. What's your thought on this St. Louis Blues run?
This is pretty crazy because this team, I mean, there was very low expectations, I think, league wide this year coming into this season. And even if you ask St. Louis Blues fans, and I'm very curious, let us know down below in the comments what you think. But coming into this season, I feel like expectations weren't really that high, and they've really blown everybody away with their performance this season. And I mean, a lot of it has to do with Jim Montgomery. This is a great coach, one of the best in the NHL, right? We saw what he did with the Boston Bruins a couple of years ago. So obviously he comes over and now he's with the St. Louis Blues and doing a great job. And the Blues are very comfortable on a playoff spot right now. They are going to make the playoffs this year. And this is a franchise that is, almost 60 years old at this point. And this is, they're setting records this year, right? So St. Louis Blues fans are absolutely loving it. Jordan Binnington is playing fantastic. He's setting records as well, right? And his goaltending speaks for itself. We know what he can do in big games, but he's doing it in the regular season in the second half this year as well. So they've been fantastic. And not only that, they're a pretty young and fun team to watch too. Yes, they have, Braden Shen, a great leader up there. He's getting a little bit older, but they have a lot of youth on this team. And, picking up Broberg and Holloway, I know he's injured. We're going to get to that in a little bit too, but, the fact that they pick these guys up, they do have some youth in this lineup, and they're going to be a pretty good team for years to come as well. So I think it's pretty exciting for Blues fans, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the playoffs because sometimes you sneak into the playoffs, and we've seen it with Florida. If you're really hot at the right time, you sneak in, you can make some noise. It does not matter who the first seed is. So they're going to make things very uncomfortable for whoever they end up playing in the first round and maybe beyond that because they are feeling it right now.
And I mean, listen, they're going to probably match up against the Vegas Golden Knights, and this is not a team that anyone wants to face in the NHL, and that team being the St. Louis Blues. But looking at the goaltender once again, we see Binnington matching a franchise record, having the most home wins with 100. We see the records being broke, the win streaks. We can see the franchise record win streak with their tandem. Jordan Binnington's a part of this. And 6 years ago, when they set the record, which was 11 at that point, Jake Allen and Jordan Binnington, he has been so consistent for this team between the pipes with new goaltending tandems, with everything in between. He has been a rock for this team. Him and Hofer have been awesome. I mean, Binnington, 27 wins, 21 losses. We see Hofer with 16 wins, 17 losses. These guys have been the backbone and consistent for this team. And since the Four Nation break, Binnington's been outstanding. But listen, there is just kind of throwing it to you. Could you look at Jordan Binnington as the hottest goaltender in the league, which is pretty obvious at this point, being on this win streak? But would you go with him game one of the playoffs? And are you confident that he can lead them to the Stanley Cup Finals again?
I think that, well, let's pump the brakes on the Stanley Cup final for now. We'll get to that in a minute. But I think, yes, absolutely. This guy has ice in his veins. We've seen it time and time again. Twice in TD Garden, he's done it to other teams like the Boston Bruins and Team USA, right? He comes up big when it matters most. And there's a lot of goalies in the league, like a Connor Hellebuck that I've been saying on this channel. I love the Jets fans that are subscribed. And, the Jets are playing great. But we've seen it time and time again. He's a great goalie during the regular season, not so much in the playoffs sometimes, right? Jordan Binnington is very much the opposite. And obviously, it comes with a lot of extracurriculars sometimes, throwing the blocker, stuff like that. But no, he's a great goalie, and he's putting up pretty insane numbers. His last maybe 10 games or so right now are absolutely insane. And I think it is a really good tandem. It's not just Jordan Binnington, of course, but he is playing some really good hockey and giving them a chance to win. And, if you have a goalie that at least gives you a chance to win, you're going to win probably more more times than not, especially with the way that the Blues are winning. So leading them to a Stanley Cup final, I think there's potential there. If they continue to stay hot, if they don't run into any injury problems, anything like that, I think there's a lot of potential with this group to go far because they're gelling and coming together, right at the right time. It's been perfect, right, the last little while. So again, you have a really good goaltender who comes up big in these big moments. Anything is possible in the NHL playoffs. We saw Florida make it as the 8th seed to the Stanley Cup final a couple years ago. So again, anything is possible.
And listen, going back on injuries, we know that Dylan Holloway is out of this lineup right now, but we do see a lot of new faces joining this team. Snuggerud has been awesome. We see him on the top line here. This is from Puckpedia. This might not be the lineups going into the next game, but the biggest thing with this is we do get an update on their top prospect in Dvorsky, being recalled from Springfield to join this team. Now listen, Dvorsky has been awesome in the AHL, 20 goals, 24 assists for 44 points in his first season in the AHL. We did see him with his first game with the St. Louis Blues just a couple weeks or just a week ago. But what's your thoughts on this young movement joining the team now, where we see the St. Louis Blues not only being the hottest team in the NHL at the very moment, but like you said earlier on, this is the team that's still young and injecting their top 10 pick in Dvorsky to this lineup. I think there's a lot to add with this guy.
Absolutely. And I had the opportunity to actually watch Dvorsky play live for the Sudbury Wolves when he played in the OHL. And this is a very skilled player and a guy I think you can win with, right? Like he has some bite to his game. And again, I think that there are certain guys that bring skill to the table, but maybe you can't win with them or they don't play the right way. I think this guy plays the right way and he's been putting up pretty good numbers. And as you can see, when I had the opportunity to watch him in the OHL, great numbers, but that's junior hockey. But it's translated to the AHL. He's having a very good season this year, almost a point a game player. If it was even a half a point a game player, you'd be like, all right, this guy can probably hang and you could probably come up to the NHL and make some type of a difference, right? So he's been having a really good year in the AHL. He's deserved the call up. I'm excited to see what he's going to do with this opportunity moving forward as well. But I am a really big fan of this player. I think he's a guy that you can win with. And when you add him to this lineup, again, we were just talking about how this team is actually very young and skilled, right? And underratedly across the league, I think. Not too many people think of the St. Louis Blues, obviously, right now because of the 12-game winning streak, but they have a lot of really young and good players, right? So, yeah, I think he's going to be fantastic to watch. It was an earned opportunity as well. I'm excited to see what he does with that. And I just wonder who he replaces at this point.
And yeah, the biggest thing is we see a lot of Blues fans and a lot of people speculating that he's going to fill out this third line, taking Joseph out of the lineup, as he didn't have the best game last game. But this is a lineup where you have forces on all 4 lines, all 3 pairings, and both goalies you can trust going into any game. So Blues fans, once again, I want to know, who is your favorite player on this Blues team? Who do you think the MVP is? We've been reading through, it's a lot of Binnington. We see a lot of Shen. There's a lot of comments. What's your thoughts on Dvorsky? How many games do you think they can reach in this win streak? And do you think it's going to extend into the playoffs? Because, I mean, listen, with how hot this team is, how well everyone's been playing, I would not be shocked. But listen, if you enjoyed this and you want to stay up to date on the Blues, go ahead and hit that free subscribe button or the rest of the NHL. We'll keep you updated on everything. But that'd be it for this episode. If you like it, go down and subscribe, leave a comment. We enjoy reading it. I've been your host, Mark, with my co-host, Darius, and take care.